Swaying Kung Fu. Call those moves Kung Fu? Hey, what's my move?
I knew what I wanted.
People turn up the bass.
Music.
Ready. We live?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, December 23rd, just a day and a half out before Christmas time.
Jag, I have a question for you. Would you allow snails to vote?
I don't believe they have any concept of society as a whole. I don't think their vote would be very useful.
What if they did? What if they did? What if a snail crawled up? What if a snail slithered up to you?
If they are sentient, then they have rights.
That's
Otherwise,
yeah.
Otherwise, not really.
So if fucking District 9 aliens started coming down in their shit and piss covered spaceship, would you let them vote?
No, because they're not from this planet.
Yeah.
so they don't know what we need. Snails, however, do live on this planet, so they do know what we need, which would probably be more snail-oriented things, but
yeah, he's got a point.
They would still matter more.
So I'm gonna kick off this podcast saying some bit of updates and news that I feel people should know about. The notification that I put out on Tuesday or Wednesday of last week, the reasoning why I canceled like literally 90% of all the planned streams and shit I was going to do for the end of the year, is because, yeah, so to fill people in on what happened, Wednesday night, I was playing Vidya with a bunch of friends. We were like, there was like 8 people in the Discord call. We were all having a fucking great time. It was a lot of fun. Naturally, whenever anybody who knows me, whenever I'm around a lot of people, I get very loud. I'm actually gonna boost you if you're kind of quiet. There you go.
Me?
Yeah, you're like really quiet, like more so than normal.
Because I'm munching on some dry cereal and I don't want to be crunching up the microphone.
What cereal?
I found honey bun cereal, and it's good when it's dry.
Hi.
Some cereal actually is better when it's dry, in my opinion. But essentially,
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is my #1 example.
What happened was, instead of knocking like a reasonable, person in the 21st century, he decided, no, that's too nice. I'm gonna take a bat and bash it against his fucking door. Literally, the first time it hit, I was like, what the fuck was that? And then I heard it 2 more times, and then literally everybody in the Discord call like stopped. They're like, "Where's that noise coming from?" And I take off my headphones, and all I hear is, "Shut the fuck up!" This is so fucking loud, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And he starts bashing even harder, and then he starts hitting the rails because we have rails all the way up to the staircase because I'm on the 3rd floor. He starts bashing the rails, starts hitting the walls, starts hitting everything, just anything he can hit. He starts taking this bat to it. And everything he can. He just does everything in his power to make as much fucking noise as possible. And I naturally go over there and open the door just a little bit. Just enough to where he can see my face and enough to where I can see his face. And he's like, "Listen, man, my mom just died and I'm not having a good night. And your noise is making it so I can't sleep." And I'm like, I'm just looking at him. And he's like, "You better shut up or else I'm going to bust down this fucking door and beat the fuck out of you till you can't breathe no more." I'm like, I just close the door in his face, lock both locks. And he says, "No, come back here. I'm not done talking to you." I'm like, "Bro, I'm not going to talk to you." And I just called the police. Needless to say...
Was this a black gentleman?
No, it's not actually. It's a fucking white dude, pale as fuck, pasty motherfucker.
Neo-Nazi.
Even worse.
Yeah, this dude, I have personally called the police on him twice. He's had the police called on him multiple times by his ex-girlfriend. I'm assuming ex-girlfriend. There's
Hopefully ex-girlfriend. Dear God, please be ex-girlfriend.
There's no way that they're...
God.
No. The tense that I was going for was not ex-wife, ex-girlfriend. I was like, there's no way he, tied the knot with anybody, being that piece of a shit he is.
Will you be surprised?
But all I can gather, because God, everybody fucking knew he was having problems. What I could gather, because this neighborhood doesn't have fucking peace, is he broke up with this woman. They had a kid together. He was fighting for custody for the child. He lost the rights to that child, but he essentially kidnapped the child against the wife's or girlfriend's permission. I don't know what she is, but against the girl's permission, and kept her in his house. And she was like, "No, you're a fucking terrible person. You are a degenerate. You don't have anything going for you. You're a piece of shit. You're your life is at the lowest it could possibly be. You're not fit to take care of a child." And he was like, "Fuck you, bitch. This is my girl too." What's up?
Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, so you were saying the girl was saying that to the guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so, question. Have you spoken to your other neighbors about this individual?
Literally, everybody else moved out because of this guy. Everybody's gone. Everybody I've known is gone. I don't know anybody. I was trying so hard to tell the people who just moved in, please don't. Go back. Please leave. Because they have a little girl of their own.
Do not be like me.
They have a little girl. He is barely 2 or 3 years older than myself. We've had just a short conversation while I was taking out the trash. I just bumped into him. I was like, oh, hey, you're the new neighbor who just moved in. And he started talking to me for a little bit. I was like, damn, you're pretty young. And part of me was like, dude, tell him to leave. Tell him to get the fuck out of here. Because it is not a good place for a child to be in. No. He's constantly drinking. He's constantly blaring his fucking music. He's constantly smoking weed, and everybody knows that it's him. Because it just fucking reeks. It fucking reeks of weed, and it's so bad. It finds its way into my apartment, and it's just so fucking strong. I fucking hate this dude so much. But he wants to come yell at me at 8:30 p.m. when I was getting ready to get off that I'm being too loud, and it's causing him trouble sleeping.
Okay, hold up. 8:30 p.m. Are you fucking serious?
Yes, 8:30 p.m.
Okay.
I was going to start turning it.
So I was always under the assumption that when you are living in a communal living space like an apartment or a condo or even a fucking hotel, if you're staying there, 8:30 generally is going to be the loudest time of night.
I'd say 7. 7's the loudest. That usually around here.
Regardless, it's around that time, right? 7, 8, 9. Those are going to be the
Before
most active
10.
times of the night.
10 is 10 is
10.
the latest that I call it. I stop making a lot of noise around 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 10 is like where noise is still somewhat acceptable, but it's getting kind of into a gray area because kids and whatever. 11 is where, okay, maybe you should calm the fuck down. After 12, quiet.
Yeah, no, that's what I tell everybody that I'm with. Like, if we're having like any group of people, like, all right, we gotta take it down. It's way too late.
That's
but
why
no.
you just get a cabin in the woods.
But no, I'm like, it's 8:30. You're fucking losing your goddamn mind, and I can send a picture of the door if you want to see what the door looks like.
Yeah, send a picture. I want to see what how much damage you did with that. Was it a wooden bat or was it a steel bat?
It's literally 8:30 at night, and the sun goes down at like 6:30. So like, I can't see shit, and I only opened it just enough to see his face. That's all I wanted to see was just who the fuck was beating down my door. So if I get yelled at, I know who to come after. Oh, your file is too powerful. All right, let me just compress this real quick. Thanks, Discord.
Fuck off, Discord.
First
it's run by furries, and then it won't let us send a picture.
This is the door.
Oh, fun.
There was at least 8 good whacks into the door itself. There was multiple bangings.
Good ass hits, dude. Jesus.
Yeah. Took the paint.
It also strikes me as he's striking the door with the corner of the end of the bat.
I just don't know.
Meaning that he doesn't know how a bat works.
I think I could hit it better.
Yeah.
All
Here,
I know.
Austin, I'll come to your apartment. I'll start hitting your door, and then you tell me if my hits are better than his.
Oh, I already know that your hits are better than his. He's a fucking piece of shit.
Epic.
He's...
I am quite the string bean.
Oh, you're... this dude...
Sorry, I am quite the string bean.
This dude...
You put me next to my gorilla of a brother, you're just like, how the fuck are you related? Like, he is like 90%
Oh shit, hold
meat.
up. Hold up.
But yeah,
And
lungs...
me, I'm just like 90% fat.
Actually, he showed me a fucking video of him drop kicking his friend who was sitting in a chair. Yeah, it was funny because the friend that he drop kicked, he said, "Yeah, he's basically a gorilla."
Cameron,
And then I watched it happen.
Cameron, that image is fucking cursed. I hate it for the context that people want. No, for the context, people don't need this. Fine. Oh, that's showing the other screen. Alright, that's gotta go away. It's showing my control panels and shit. Essentially, it's Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer, the cartoon show that fucking plays every year. But the bitchy cousin lady with the red hair is holding a letter instead.
Grandma got accepted into Smash.
Yeah, Grandma got accepted into Smash.
Like it's like Smash is a university. Y'all excited to watch that this year again?
No, because I don't watch TV. Got him.
Exactly.
Yeah, audible dab.
I would Jagged on this one.
Audible dab.
Hey Jagged, let's high five real quick. All right, right, 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Anyways, so let me wrap up this shit. Long story short,
I'm gonna put this in not safe for stream, by the way, because I'm not sure if it's suitable. I don't know if it violates TOS.
What, the dropkick?
So
No.
long story short, that's just the kid's face. The kid's face that makes it all worth.
I don't like this image.
So let me wrap up this fucking story.
That is totally fine to be on stream. That is totally fine to be on stream.
I don't know, man. Death surgery.
So let me finish this fucking story.
Yeah.
So long story short, I call the police. They show up like 15 minutes later. I was like, God damn, that was kind of fast. And they knock on my door. I start talking for a little bit. I tell him the story. He knocks on the neighbor's door, and all you can hear is the neighbor just like screaming in his apartment. And they knock harder. He just goes silent, and then they knock one more time. He stays silent and doesn't answer the door. He pretends like he wasn't just screaming like 30 seconds before. He refuses to answer the door. He just locked himself in. So what happened was they come back to me. They're like, all right, so he looks like he doesn't want to cooperate. We can't really force him out of his apartment. But here's what I need you to do. I need you to lock your doors and don't leave the apartment if you don't have to. I'm like, oh, thank you. That's what I needed to hear.
I love being in close proximity to potentially dangerous people.
But
isn't it the best?
Huh?
Isn't it the best just being around dangerous people?
It's a good thing.
My
I already
who threatens to shoot my dogs if they bark. It's fucking great.
No, that's fun.
So, needless to say, I am already really counting down the days. I'm exactly 1 month away from moving out. I'm very excited. But what I found out really funny was when I left to work, the next day, I saw a nice letter attached to his door. And God, I fucking hope it's an eviction notice. I really hope it's an eviction notice. He does not deserve to live in this apartment.
It says you're crazy as shit. Get the fuck out.
He has had the police called on him multiple times, and I called on him twice because just literally 2 weeks ago, I heard some woman in his apartment, and she was literally like blood-curdling screams, like for her life was in danger, and I just hear him throwing shit and glasses breaking, and I'm just like, okay, she needs help. Like, he is literally not a good person, even in a little bit.
Okay. Alright, so bad shit's going down.
Yeah, so long story short, he's a piece of shit. Can't wait till I'm gone. And that sums about everything else that I want to say. That's all the negative stuff that I wanted to get out. I have a lot of positive stuff I want to talk about. Do you guys have any negative shit you want to get off the table real quick before we move on?
Yeah, I hate hatred.
Nice. Got him.
I love hate and
Y'all
hate
remember-
everything else.
Y'all remember when I don't know if your fucking like 4th or 3rd grade teachers did this, but when they were trying to explain how adding and subtracting negative and positive numbers together, they had like a fucking spreadsheet of love and hate. Oh, fuck off. Fuck that image.
Okay, that's actually really good.
It was multiplying. It was multiplying positive and negative numbers, where it was positive and positive makes positive, positive and negative makes a negative, and then negative and negative makes a positive, because it's you love to love, you hate to love, you love to hate, or you hate to hate.
I'm confused. That made it way more confusing.
Never mind.
I'm so fucking confused with what you just said.
I'll
What
explain it later.
about Zero Punctuation's hype chart? Let me find that.
Oh fuck, dude! It's been so long since I've watched Zero Punctuation.
I still watch her from time to time. So I have one more story.
Yeah,
I
no,
want to tell you guys.
every now and then I do, but cause like it's one of those reviewers where I don't take their opinions all that seriously because they genuinely just hate everything. But the few times they say positive things about a piece of media, oh man, that must be something special. I better check that shit out.
So real quick, Yeah, that's a really good image. Real quick.
That's a really good image.
So, literally on Thursday when I went to the office, literally this past weekend. So, just after that whole incident with my neighbor, going into the office, everybody's just chilling out. Nobody's really doing any work because like it's the holiday season. Nobody wants to do any work anywhere across the country. Yeah. So, we're just kind of chilling. And I'm just sitting there, and sometimes I have my headphones in just to like not talk to people. I don't know if anybody else does that. I just put in headphones, don't really listen to anything. I just do that so that way nobody comes to talk to me.
And... What, like right now?
No, I mean at work.
Yeah.
I really wish I could just I really wish I could just put in headphones and not talk to anyone. But talking to people is kind of my job, so I can't do that.
Put on a helmet and pretend you're a robot. Then they won't try to talk to you.
I thought you were about to say pretend you're retarded.
I thought that's where you was going to.
Don't say the R word, or else I might get banned.
Uh-oh.
So
don't just put on a helmet and pretend you're a totally functionally okay person, and nobody will want to talk to you anyway. Or just dress like a homeless person.
Please be patient. I'm special. So, I was just kind of just chilling out on my phone, and one of these guys come in. He rarely comes in, but he came in. I looked up and was like, oh, hey, he's here today. And he walks over to this other guy, and we just got done talking, so I put my headphone back in because I'm like, okay, I'm in don't talk to me mode. And so he, like, does this thing where he, like, kind of, like, meerkatted. He did a half meerkat. You know when you, like, look up and scout the room real quick before you say some shit? He did a half meerkat. He kind of like stretched up a little bit, made it look like he was stretching, and he leaned over to the guy because the guy walked over to him. So guy 1 is the guy who doesn't come in all the time. Guy 2 is the guy who's just talking to. I'll say it like that. So guy 2 talks to guy 1, and guy 1's like, so did you find a reasonable guy? And he's like, well, you see, I went to like this whole group, and like it seemed like he could do it, but I'm not too sure. He's like, look, dude, if I'm putting this much money down on a suit, I want to make sure it's done right, I'm like, okay, so they're talking about suits. Cool. And so they start talking back and forth, and he's like, yeah, dude, I'm just looking
for Austin. I don't like this conversation.
And he goes like, yeah, dude, I just want one that, looks just right, and I don't know if I want to go the full suit or if I just want like a half suit. And then
he used the phrase partial.
And so guy 2's like, come on, man, it's not that much of a difference. If you're gonna get it, you gotta go all the way. He's like, see, people say that. Sorry, guy 1 says, well, people say that, but I'm thinking just the head would do just fine. But the problem is, I just don't want a bad looking snout. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh god, shit, oh fuck. He's talking about a fursuit, and I tried so hard not to pretend I wasn't listening to the whole thing. And I was like, oh god, they're both furries, and I didn't expect it. None of them looked like it.
Austin, it's your people.
Guy 1 looked like a furry. Like, he has, like, Five Nights at Freddy's merch on his desk. Like, I was like, okay, maybe. Guy 2...
I thought you were saying, like, his facial features resembled that of someone who would be a furry.
He's got a long ponytail.
He's got a long snoot.
He's got a long ponytail.
Fetal alcohol syndrome.
And he just didn't strike me. He just didn't strike me as a furry. He didn't strike me as one. So I was just like, oh, they're both...
Our mutual friend doesn't strike you as a furry either, and guess what?
So yeah, I guess not. But it was really awkward because the guy... So the way it works is I sit... Okay, think of it like a foursquare, right? There is the square on the right, the square on the left, the square in the back left, the square in the back right, right? I'm in the back left. A coworker of mine is in the back right, so he's just across from me. They're on the top right. And so it's the four of us, like, sitting down. And the guy to my right, the guy in the back right, kind of, like, looks over the shoulder to see what they're looking at. He goes, oh, and, like, goes back and pretends he didn't see it either. And that just confirmed.
God, I thought you were about to say, oh, hey, I thought guy number 3 was going to come in and be like, oh, shit, you guys are also? And it turns out all 3 of them are furries.
No, he's like 58, 60 years old. He's like a retired veteran.
50-year-old furries.
He's a retired veteran. So, he's He tries really hard.
I met some retired veteran, like 50-year-old furries, dude. Like, they're uncommon, but they're not like.
It's
weird.
He really kind of tried his best to play it off, but then they caught on that he heard, so they kind of like wrapped it up really quickly and just scuttled away.
Yeah, scuttled is the proper verbiage.
I just tried so hard to pretend like I was listening to music the entire time and I didn't hear it. It was fucking bizarre.
So okay, you came up and you started the story with, "I think I found a suitable guy," and I'm like, "Oh no, where's the story going?"
Oh yeah,
no.
Where did you think that was going?
I thought you were gonna talk about cucking.
Oh no. No,
that would have been really funny.
I think that would have been worse than the first suit.
It would have been extremely funny to be able. What the fuck was that noise?
Jagged, are you okay?
Okay.
I was just exclaiming my distaste for this conversation.
Beautiful. Okay then, Jagged. Do you have anything special you want to talk about this week?
I'm almost done Persona 5. It's
Very
taken
proud of
me
you.
2 years.
I'm
Over
very
160 hours of total play time. Most of that, I'd say more than half of that being idle time, because whenever I would start playing it, someone would come into my room and say, "Hey, I want to do this thing." And I'd just leave it on thinking, "Oh, this will not take more than 30 minutes." 10 hours later.
There it is. Yeah, because when I played, I only spent like 80-something hours on it. Now, granted, most of those days were just, I'm going to go to the flower shop and work so I can grind my niceness to the highest level I possibly can before Futaba is even introduced as a concept in the game. And I did.
Yeah.
And then she came in, and I saved her, and then I went on a date with her, and it was cool. She's cool. I like Futaba.
On my first playthrough, I was playing it in Japanese, and I didn't understand.
I'm still mad at you for that.
Yeah, at least okay, whatever. I can justify it because I know that the Japanese collector's edition has goodies that you can't get in America, so I have that.
Imagine getting the goodies from a collector's edition and then not having anywhere to put them
and then not
in
playing the game.
So
imagine buying a kit for a game that has a bunch of figures and shit in it, and then just leaving the game unwrapped and sealed and put it on the shelf and never play it.
See, that's why I actually played the game.
Because that's what I did.
So, whenever I played it, I saw Futaba, and I was like, I literally have no idea what you're saying, but I love your design. And then I started to piece the story together based off of the visuals that were going on. I was like, uh-oh. I'm assuming that's, like, her mom, because there's no way that that's, like, her sister. And so I was like, okay, that's the mom. Okay, people in a suit. Okay, why is her mom getting pushed? Oh, her mom's dead. Oh, her mom's dead. And then she starts crying, and I'm like, oh no. And then, like, I started, like, trying to find out how to, like, find the way to, like, romance Futaba, because I was like, okay, well, Futaba, she's, like, super cute. I'm going to romance this girl. I could not figure out what stat she needed. All I got was, like, oh, she's not ready to talk to you. And I'm like, I need to know what I need to do. And the game's still too early to find out, because I imported it like day one, so it's like everybody across the world is still trying to figure out how to play the game.
Yeah, so nobody knows. And you double don't know, because you can't even read the fucking language it's written in.
So halfway through my playthrough, which is around the time Futaba came into play, I think it was because of Futaba, I downloaded the Google Translate app, and every time a thing would pop up, I take a picture, import the text, read it, okay, I understand, next page. And I did this the entire way through up until I got to, I think until I got to Haru's dungeon, and then I stopped because I was like, this is taking way too long. I'd rather just wait the extra 4 months, because it's like a 4-month gap between the editions. So
shit. That's a good image, Jagged. I'm using that as my fucking phone wallpaper. Jesus.
Well, there you go.
Wait, what?
Part 6 when? Part 6 when? Part 6 when?
It's JoJo shit. Don't worry about it.
I don't care.
Yeah. I have a picture of Samus on right now, but I'm gonna replace it with a picture of JoJo.
Whoa. You have a picture of Samus as your wallpaper?
Send it. Yeah, it's been that way for, I want to say, like half a year.
Care to share?
Yeah, care to share?
Will. If I can find it, hold up.
You better find it, otherwise you won't be finding your legs here in a little bit.
Here, I'll share this. I found it on Twitter, and I like it a lot.
Oh yeah, I like Egg. She's sweet.
I like her. She egg.
She is Egg.
She egg.
She's Egg.
I've hated the way my language has been devolving as of late, because whenever I play with Ravioli, not my ferret, but the ferret that lives in my house.
The ferret that lives in my house. That's ominous as fuck.
I always refer to Ravioli as him, no matter what. So I go, him sleep, him like to play, him eat toes, because he does. He really likes to go after toes.
Damn, foot fetish nibbas be like.
I always refer to Ravioli as him, no matter what. And so I'm like, I realized this earlier today. Fuck, my language is stupid.
Just unstupid it.
Yeah,
just unstupid it. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
The horngus of a dongfish. Found that.
It's connected by the scrungle.
The what? The what?
This is actual scientific terminology for deep sea
hold
biology.
Hold on, I got it. Okay, so I'll find the image later. It's deep in the archives, and there's literally not enough time for me to find it on the show. So I'll do it after.
Literally, you better not forget, because we will have problems.
Okay, fine. I'll send you a screenshot of it. Fuck it.
Cameron is stupid, and his ferret has a foot fetish. Thank you, Maddox.
Who said that? All right. Thank you, Jamian.
So
let me send.
I have a random question of the night to ask you guys. That's a good image. I've seen that one before.
I found it on Reddit a long time ago, and it was very good.
So, stupid question of the hour: if you could be reincarnated, but as a monster, what would you be and why? I already know my answer.
Wait, hold on a second.
Like
what are we going off of here?
Any
what mythology?
Any mythology.
Godzilla.
Okay.
I would reincarnate as Alien X from the hit show Ben 10.
And why would you?
Achieve omnipotence.
Okay, so that's your reasoning. Jagged, what's your reasoning for wanting to become Godzilla?
He's cool.
He's cool. Where's that picture that you sent me? That I fucking love? Let me find it. Hold up.
Shingo holding a gun.
Yeah! Please, Austin. I don't understand how you don't have the chat on the page anymore, because we send some fucking god tier memes during the podcast, and no one's ever able to see them.
Because
we should have one of those. Have y'all ever listened to Off Topic, the fucking Achievement Hunter podcast?
Why are we promoting other fucking podcasts during
No, because it's important. They have a poster on their set that says, quote, audio listener friendly. And it's not. It never is. They're always doing some bullshit that you need to watch it for. But who cares? It's audio friendly.
So, the reasoning why I have it off is because there's a lot of times where I just don't really feel the need to show my screen. Because it's just... I don't know, because I hate it, because it's like, if anybody wants to do it, it's just an audio podcast, they're like, oh fuck, I have to unlock my phone and actually look at the screen. So if I don't make it a priority, then I don't...
Then we should stop sending pictures.
No, it's kind of just for us so we can see what we're talking about, what we're referencing. If it's that important, then we'll show it to the stream.
Godzilla holding a gun.
Yeah, that's what...
it's Godzilla holding a gun with bright eyes.
With laser eyes. So my answer is I want to be a Doulahan. So
hey, that's pretty cool.
A Doulahan.
Those are the ones with the heads off, right?
So a Doulahan is one who can sever their own head from their body at any moment. And I really love the idea of just taking off your head and just like throwing it around. It's like, hey, I need to go and see what's over here. Let me just roll my head across the room.
There are two games in which I can describe that exact mechanic exists within it. Not just one, but two.
Okay.
The hit game that everyone knows and everyone remembers, Never Dead.
I think I actually kind of remember that one. That's the one where it had. It's like that Mad World game, but instead of black and white, it's black and green, right?
Black and blue, kinda. I don't know. It's been a while since I played it. All I remember is that you play as an immortal dude, and he can't die, but his limbs and head can just get blown off, and so you can do third-person action, hobbling around on one leg and slashing a sword with one arm. And then there's puzzles where it's like, hey, he grabs an electrical thing and it blows him up and severs his head from his body, and he rolls his head around to solve puzzles. And I'm like, that's interesting. That's some cool shit. But then you find out that the game plays like ass because you have to swing your sword with the right analog stick.
That's kind of gross.
And there's many other things like it. The second game I can describe a mechanic like that is Skullgirls!
That was so loud, I'm sure chat was able to hear you twice through my headphones.
Misfortune.
Before he goes on about Skullgirls, I have to step away. Sorry, Austin, you gotta suffer alone.
That's fine.
Okay, so it's just a duo podcast now.
No, I think he's gonna come back.
Okay.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Maybe. If I end up dropping out, then good luck with the rest.
That's fine.
All right. Well, then today's going to be a shorter podcast because it's the holidays and we need to go spend time with our families and shit.
True. You got a family? Where the fuck do you find that at? What aisle's that on?
It's on the aisle it's called the Billard aisle, and I'm just going to like leave mine and just go stay with them.
See, the thing is, we get that joke. I don't think anybody else does.
Jagged doesn't. Ooh.
Jagged, do you get that? do you get that joke, Jagged?
I do not.
A mutual friend of mine in Austin's has the last name Billard.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh wait, you showed me the Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's the same household.
Okay.
No, it wasn't Thanksgiving. It was Easter. It was Easter supper because they're Canadian. They don't have dinner. They have supper.
Ew. Canadians.
Yeah. No, trust me. Trust me. I know.
So,
back to Canuckistan, all that jazz, whatever. All right.
Canuckistan.
Peace out, homies.
All right, later.
What the fuck is this?
So.
What the fuck is this? What are Diet G-Bucks?
Oh, yeah. So, I made G-Bucks way back in February, like as a passive income that you make while watching streams. You could use them to buy points and shit. But then Twitch was like, all right, fuckers, we're now implementing this currency that you get from watching streams. And I was like, oh, so what I already have, that's based based inside of Twitch already. So
Diet G-Bucks.
You get two different currencies. One's for like slots and other shit, and the other one is for other rewards. And I don't care.
How do I see my fucking thing?
I literally
how much I have.
I would assume you click the little button.
Oh.
Yeah, the first is
how
gone.
do I see the other one? How do I see the other one?
Exclamation P. That's to see your actual G-Bucks. You have 87,000. Cool.
Oh, that one was hidden. All right, cool. Anyway.
Wait, what was hidden?
No, I just didn't see the one, so I thought I only had 8,700, and I'm like, okay, whatever. It's like, oh, I almost have 100K. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, about Skullgirls?
Okay, so, no, Misfortune in Skullgirls has a mechanic where you can take her head off and then roll it around the screen, and then you can attack. So you can do, like, area of denial things, and you can fucking have it to where your character is facing left and their opponent's on you, but they're between, the enemy is between you and the head, and you can launch the head and then grab, and it goes, nom 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 nom, and then it drops them.
I've only seen fan art where they have Misfortune throwing her head, and it rolls underneath somebody else's skirt, and she goes, nice.
Yeah,
that's the only one I've seen.
I know that exact image. It was under Philia.
I think it was.
Anyways, I'm going to now stop talking about Skullgirls because
I
really want to talk about Control.
Oh, Control?
Because I really want to talk about Control.
Uh-oh. He's going to talk about Control, ladies and gentlemen, and just like that, the entire chat disappeared.
Okay, how many people are currently watching? How do I
7 people are currently watching.
Okay. All 7 of you, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to drop what you're doing and drop the $30 on the copy of the game Control, or $60 if you're on a console like a plebeian. This game is Game of the Year, and I'm a little upset at myself that I didn't play it sooner.
Actually, Cameron, if you didn't know, a little game called Sekiro, Shadowside Twice, won Game of the Year.
Fuck you. My Game of the Year is Control. I haven't played Outer Wilds yet.
Nor have you played
Outer Wilds, not Outer Worlds.
Nor have you played Sekiro.
Nor have I played Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, Game of the Year edition. but Control so far, it has been the last game that has floored me this much in where I was
wait,
like...
wait. Did you already buy the game?
No, I bought it like a little bit ago. I bought it like yesterday.
I thought you said you weren't gonna buy it until it came to Steam.
Yeah, I caved.
You fucking weakling.
Because, alright, in my defense, I could get it for $30 right now.
Yeah?
So,
but then it's on an inferior
game.
platform.
Actually, everything's on GOG Launcher, so now I don't care.
Is that what you're saying?
I've honestly just kind of stopped caring about that ever since GOG Launcher came out. Anyways, okay, so I wish Jagged was here because I want to tell him about the funny Eastern European man that is in the game. But, because he would get such a kick out of it, but I'll wait until later if he ever comes back to tell him about the funny Eastern European guy who's the janitor.
Wait, I thought the whole thing was like elite members of society or some shit. How do they have
elite members of society need people to clean up after them as well.
Alright.
There's a janitor.
Or maybe the elite people of society don't make a fucking mess.
Or maybe he's a fucking extra-dimensional being. I actually don't know yet. The game is kind of hinting that he can read my thoughts. Anyways, Control is very good. It starts off and you walk into a building called the Oldest House. It is known as the Oldest House. It is a building in central New York that you can only walk into if you know it's there. And you want to walk in.
So, just like Harry Potter. With like
Quote from the game, the Oldest House doesn't want to be seen.
I'm so confused already, and I haven't even seen the game.
Control is a third-person shooter from the company Remedy Games, who became famous from Max Payne and Alan Wake. And hot damn, minute-to-minute gameplay. Okay, Control is one of those games where it focuses in on a theme or a concept or something like that, and it just refines it to the just the best point you possibly could, and then it stabs you, and then you're like, oh yes, I want to get stabbed again.
Okay.
Dark Souls did the same thing, where it's run around, hit some dudes with a sword, uncover the lore, it's hard, yada yada yada.
Okay.
It honestly, Control hits those same feelings that Dark Souls does. In the sense that it's not hard, but I love just walking around and looking at things. Like, I don't really care about the shooting. Like, the shooting is great. I genuinely love how the shooting plays in this game. I don't care, though. I just want to look around and watch videos of the funny scientist man tell me how a floppy disk can shoot pencils across a room. Fuck. Okay, so if anyone in chat is a fan of the SCP Foundation, this is not an SCP game. But
you said this whole time that it was an SCP game.
Oh, no. I meant that in that they take heavy inspiration from SCP. Like, the Oldest House might as well be the SCP Foundation. The objects of power might as well be just SCPs. There are things called AWEs, Altered World Events, in which I haven't found the reference. Maybe I have and it just flew over my head. But I hear that Alan Wake is referenced in Control as an Altered World event.
Okay.
So, the world of Alan Wake and the world of Control are the exact same thing. And I love it when companies or artists or whatever do that, where it's like, hey, you know that game? They're actually connected. And then it's not dog shit and it makes sense. Cough, cough, Dark Souls 2. So, okay, like, where do I even start? So, I don't know. It's a very good game, and my biggest gripe with it is there are a little bit of some controller things that I have to get used to, where the game is controlled in a really weird way that I haven't gotten used to. I'm getting used to it now. But
you're saying Control has some bad controls?
It doesn't have bad controls. It has different controls. It works for the game, so I'm getting used to it. Anyway, the other issue is that the ray tracing doesn't work.
What? Wasn't that the big selling point of the game?
it wasn't a big selling point. It was a selling point, and I definitely was like I was definitely more into it. Like, I was already into it. I was already full on like, yeah, I want to watch the inverted black pyramid tell me about how much the hiss is invading the Federal Bureau of Control. And no, I'm not going to explain what I just said. And then I was like way more into it when I found out there's ray tracing support, and I'm like, fucking sick. And I booted the game and I started playing, and 5 minutes in, I was fucking astounded. Because it looked so cool to walk down a hallway. Because the game is actually built with ray tracing in mind, believe it or not. It's an empty office building, and you're walking, and you see, like, it's a hallway that goes straight and then turns right. And you know those really big office meeting rooms with the floor-to-ceiling windows that go all the way across the room?
Yeah.
Yeah, so on that right turn, I could see into the reflection of the mirror into another room that was lit up, and I could see the contents in the reflection of the mirror without actually looking into the room around the corner. And I was like, fuck, dude. That's cool. That's some cool fucking tech.
The power of gaming is advanced.
The power of gaming. And then they introduced the telekinesis and the fucking dumb magic force field powers that you get, and the gameplay is just fucking great. They say this, so if you watch a trailer for Control and you look at the gun she's wielding, it's not a gun. It is called the service weapon. And they explain this very early on in the game, so I'm not really spoiling anything. The service weapon is the weapon of the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. And if you are not the director and you attempt to wield the gun, it will kill you or cause serious damage. And you read a lot of this game. I want to say like a good 40 to 50% of this game is reading, because you're reading documents that you just find around, and all the documents are fucking great to read because it's SCP. SCP is all about reading dry fucking scientific reports.
I feel like that's only for you, though. I don't think anybody else goes into a game where it's like, hey, our big selling point is shoot stuff and, like, go fucking...
And then read!
And go into, like, ethereal realms. And it's like, alright, well, we're gonna put the entire budget towards reading.
It's not the entire budget, no. It's supplementary. You don't have to read them, but you definitely get more out of the experience when you sit down and read them. You know what I mean?
I can't...
Because you find the floppy disk that hurls pencils and physical objects, and it's like, oh, you've unlocked the ability to hurl things with telekinesis. Cool. And then in your little fucking directory of documents and shit like that, it says, hey, you've unlocked the document for this thing. And I'm like, ooh! And so I read it, and it's just an SCP. They've formatted it almost exactly like an SCP.
So my thing is, there's so much reading to do in a lot of games, but I've never read any of them. For example, like the lore in Dark Souls, I tend to just not read it. I'm like, no, I want to get back to the gameplay. That's why I'm here. I don't think I would ever pick up any of these lore or any booklets or just anything related to reading in Control.
You don't have to listen to them. You also get a thing early in the game. One more thing I got to say about the service weapon. The service weapon, when you read the document about it, it says verbatim, this weapon has taken many forms over the years, like Excalibur or Mjolnir and things like that. And first off, that just confirmed so many things have actually existed. Second off, the gun itself is not a gun. It is a service weapon, and it can take many, many different forms. But your character Jesse it's a gun.
Okay.
And you can upgrade the gun, and you can get different forms for it. You can make it so that it's a shotgun or a chain gun or whatever. And it's this dumb magic horse shit, and that makes it way more interesting to me. Just because I'm weird like that, I guess. But it's like this game is all about walking around, seeing little tidbits of things, and you're like, and you find a document that references a certain object. And you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, actually. Then you watch a video talking about the same object, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then you see the object, and then you're like, oh, that's cool. And then it unlocks an ability. And then you're like, fuck yes. fucking pays off. Everything pays off. This game, from what I've played so far, which I've only played... How long have I played of it? I played almost 5 hours of it so far.
That's not a lot.
It's not. It's a lot for me in these days, honestly.
I mean, I guess
I've only
you're
played.
just really busy.
I've only played 5 hours of it, and keep in mind, a lot of that time was just sitting in one spot, reading documents and watching.
God damn it! You're not even playing the fucking game. You're just reading.
I am playing the game.
Yeah. You're gonna write an essay about it too.
I'm gonna make a controller special.
God damn it.
What is it? I've only played 5 hours of it. Where was my point? What was I even gonna fucking talk about? I just really like this game. And if you are at all a fan of paranormal writing or SCPs
reading
or just even good third-person shooting, because I told Jagged about this yesterday, and he said that he heard that the shooting in that game was weird and it felt weird. Not at all. It's honestly pretty close to Doom, in which it's fast. The shooting in this game is fast.
It doesn't seem like it from any of the gameplay that I've seen.
Oh, believe me, once you unlock the air dash and you start switching between your weapon forms and you're picking up chunks of the floor to throw at people and you dash in front of them and you get the shotgun and you blast their fucking brains out, turn around and throw it again and then you blast their brains out again. It's so simple, and it just allows you to just play the game and you're not fighting with anything. Like, I like games that have simple concepts and execute those simple concepts as perfectly as they possibly can. When you walk around and you do your force push melee ability, you leave visible cracks and dents in the wall, and you destroy physical objects around you.
That's a good touch.
And, like, yeah, things fall off the floor. And, like, when you use your telekinetic ability, the game tries to find an object that you can pick up and to hurl at the enemies, right? What if there's no telekinetic objects that you can pick up in the vicinity? It just pulls a chunk out of the floor, and you can see the hole in the floor, and it stays there.
I love that touch. I love when games.
This game has Levolution.
Yeah.
In which there's a railing. Nah, fuck that. You can just destroy the railing to get a better shot, or let's say the guy with the rocket launcher decides to throw a rocket at you and you're hiding behind cover. That cover's no longer there. Fucking run.
That's good. I don't see a lot of games that actually put the level of detail into that. The only game that I can reliably say that does that is like Battlefield. Like they do that like reliably well.
So here's the thing that I only discovered a couple hours ago. And when I found that, that's when I knew. All right, this is like a 90% chance this is gonna be a Hyper God King. I walked into a room and there was a projector on the screen, and it was projecting an image onto a wall, and it was a video feed of a fucking I don't know, a bed or something. I think that's what it was. And the little highlight went around the little camera projector that I could pick it up. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. And I picked it up, and the projector still projected things on the surfaces that I pointed it towards, as if it's a real camera. And I'm like, fuck, they really put a lot of effort into this game. They really took the time to make this game as fucking sharp as they possibly could. And you can definitely feel it. And it's super well optimized. I've got everything cranked to max. Even with the ray tracing cranked to max, didn't go a drop below 60. That's probably because of my good graphics card.
I was just about to say that too.
But here's the thing. I still get low frame rates in certain games. I can't play Resident Evil 2 on max setting, believe it or not.
Well, that's it. They go hand in hand. There's a lot of factors that play into that. CPU also plays into that. RAM also plays into that.
My CPU isn't that great, and neither is my RAM. Not anymore. So, I could tell that this game was well optimized because there was a bunch of shit happening. Didn't drop below fucking 60 once in my entire 5 hours of playing. And just, like, I don't know, man. I need to fucking write a script and compile my thoughts properly and actually beat the game. But I'm the type of person who, like the Dark Souls analogy, where it's like, oh, you find the staff of Big Hat Logan. Stop everything, read the lore on Big Hat Logan.
To find out that he likes big hats.
Yeah, I find out that the reason why he wears his big hat is because he has extremely bad social anxiety, and he likes to hide himself away from people, so he wears the big hat to hide behind the brim of it. What is it? And another thing that keeps the game flowing well, even when you're reading all the documents, every single document is no longer than a page. So you're reading like...
Oh, I was over here thinking that you're talking like folders of paperwork and shit.
No. You find folders and you find documents, but the folders that you find pick up and you read it and it's a page long. Not even. Like, it's a Dark Souls lore tab, honestly. Because, like, those are no longer than, like, what, 3 paragraphs at most?
Yeah, some get up there for a little bit.
Some get up there, but they're never longer than a page.
Okay, well,
so
it's just flavor text, not really, like, okay.
You definitely, yeah, it's flavor text. That's what I said. It's supplementary.
Okay, I was over here thinking that you're talking about, like, literally half the game is in paperwork.
Okay, well, I'm spending half of my playtime reading things. Not, like, half the game's content is in reading. I really like... Because the shooting is fun, and the shooting, like... It feels good, honestly. The shotgun mode for the service weapons sounds fucking amazing. The sound of the guns is great. Like, the sound design in general is just fucking great in that game. And I love the shooting. I love having all these dumb fucking magic powers. But then it's like, alright. Here's a folder describing an interaction between 2 workers of the Federal Bureau of Control and how this one is really thirsty for the other. And that's kind of it. I'm imagining there's going to be another document somewhere else that elaborates on this little plot thread line they're leaving for me. And I'm like, oh, that's neat. But then you find the documents that are like, hey, so we found this thing at Redacted. And there's just like fucking black tape over the words where they found the thing. Like, I don't know why. That specific thing always makes me more interested in your writing.
Why? Because it just says Redacted?
No, because not that it says redacted, it's that there's... You know when you take a big fucking black marker and you black out words in a line of text?
I'm gonna just say yes, even though I would normally just say no.
Okay, I'm pulling up an SCP right now. I'm gonna show you.
Oh my god. No.
993, perfect. 993, perfect.
Whoa. What? I don't...
Austin, I need you to... you don't need to read it. You don't need to read it. All you need to do is click on the fucking page.
Do I want to?
And see... Yes, it's fine. Just click on the fucking page.
Okay.
Do you see the little fucking black bars where the dates are?
Yeah.
In the description? Yeah, that's what they do for certain words and certain phrases in the documents. And they do this in SCPs as well.
Okay.
Where's SCP-4666? Okay, no, this one's actually not redacted at all. Anyway, like, they do things like that, where it's like, this paranormal safe that allows you to create shields was found in, and then they blank out the word. It was found to be involved with blank, and they blank out, like, half the fucking page. And it's like, oh! I don't know why. That little touch of, like, no, you're not allowed to see this, is like, ooh, I'm gonna fucking find out what everything is in this goddamn video game.
It's just sensitive information. That's the word you're looking for.
Well, yeah, it's redacted information. And, like, but, like, it's hard to describe that. Like, I don't know the proper ways to describe blanking out words on a text document other than just saying redacted, but that implies that the word redacted is on the page. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. They serve the same purpose.
And then when you go into a new area of the game, and half the map is blanked out like that, and you're just not allowed to see what that part of the map is, after you find the map of the area.
You mean like an actual physical map? Like it's like scratched out?
You hit the tab button and you bring up the map, and it's like literally someone took a marker and scribbled out that area.
That's cool.
And
so what do you do for that area? Does that mean you're not able to go into it, or you just can't have a map while you're exploring it?
I don't know yet. I'm very early in the game, but there's an area in the game called the Ashtray Maze.
I don't like the sound of that.
It is an impossibly changing maze, and the lore implications, at least from what I know, is that the director of the Bureau before you, because at the very beginning of the game you become appointed the director of the Federal Bureau of Control, and that's why you're able to wield the service weapon.
Okay.
The previous director, who you don't communicate to, more so you hear the echoes of his thoughts, and he tells you, hey, so there's this area called the Ashtray Maze. It is an area that is... You remember Antechamber?
Yes, of course.
Impossible space. Is an area
Okay.
of pure impossible space. And it's meant to house the deepest, darkest secrets of the Bureau.
So
Because it's almost impossible for you to get into unless you're bound to the ashtray that makes the Ashtray Maze.
I feel like this would make a lot more sense if I was actually playing the game. Because
It
on
would.
the
You
on
need
the
to play
surface, I just don't understand what you're saying. I mean, the game's coming to Steam next year, so I'm just
in
gonna
August.
I'm just gonna patiently wait for it.
Also, why are pyramids so fucking threatening?
They aren't. You just keep saying they are. They're not.
No. The pyramids in Destiny are ominous enough. But imagine you are in an infinitely white void, and there's a big, infinitely tall, inverted black pyramid floating above you, and it's speaking to you in a language that you don't understand, yet you understand completely.
Then you don't understand. How can you understand it and don't understand it?
You hear static and mumbling and gurgling, and then you read the subtitles of it, and you can understand it. And the
there's
game, the
fucking
main character of the game,
subtitles.
the main character of the game is like, all I hear is jarbled nonsense, but I understand every word of it. It's like, okay. Because
So
the only way to talk to the Black Pyramid, which is...
Where are the subtitles coming from? Are they able to like physically see an object that says, "Hey, this is what there's"? Like, is there a translator? Like, you hold the device that's. Then how do you know? I'm trying to follow along here.
So in the game, so early on in the game, you find an object called the hotline. It is a rotary dial phone with the dial removed, and it's just a normal red fucking telephone.
Okay.
And only the director of the Federal Bureau of Control is allowed to pick it up. If anyone else tries to pick it up, they will die or suffer serious damage.
How are they just going to die?
Because the board, which is the infinitely tall black pyramid floating in the infinitely white dimension, the board only wants to talk to the director. And the hotline is a direct line of communication between the director and the board. It is the only secure network. The only truly secure network ever.
Okay.
And the board, which is the infinitely tall black floating pyramid, it talks to you, and it tells you, like, it guides you in what it wants you to do, right? And the interesting thing is that when it talks to you, it's almost like it's a board of people talking to you through one entity, because the subtitles are read like a phrase of like, the Hiss is invading. The Hiss is the main antagonist. I don't need to go into it. Just know that the main antagonist is called the Hiss. The Hiss is invading our bureau, right? But it's written as the Hiss / intruder is invading the bureau / our domain.
Interesting.
It's almost like the text is giving you multiple choices on how you want to interpret its own language.
Okay. Or it's just maybe saying it.
Thing,
Or maybe it's just saying it because like there's multiple ways you can interpret it.
That
like,
too.
Like
But, okay,
how
it goes deeper. It goes deeper. So, okay, so the girl you play as, Jessie, has an entity in her brain that she talks to, but the entity never speaks back, and so it's basically the game. It's the protagonist of the game talking to the player, but there's an in-lore reason why she's talking to another thing, and it's not talking back.
Because
the entity doesn't speak back.
It
But
can only
the
hear?
way she's phrased it is like, "Hey, we're finally here," and she's in the universe. She's talking to the entity, but as you're playing it, it's functionally meant to be the protagonist is talking to me, the player.
Oh. So the reason why it doesn't talk back is because you can't talk to them.
I think that's what they're going for.
Okay.
And it's almost like the game knows it's a game, and the developers are playing with it. where the board is giving you multiple things to like infer and draw conclusions from. It literally verbatim is like, hey, you need to beat the hiss / the game. So then when the board devises countermeasures for combating the hiss, it's multiple, like, it's Destiny bounties.
Yeah.
Like, kill this many people doing this thing, right?
Yeah.
And so the board will talk to you through the hotline and be like, hey, yo, look, we're gonna give you a bonus / rewards for completing these countermeasures / side missions.
Yeah. So it's just trying to create a unique way of being, quote unquote, a game without sounding like a game.
Exactly. And I've never seen any game before do it in this such an in-your-face but also completely subtle way.
Yeah.
Like the way they tell the story in Control is just fucking breathtaking. And I don't know what director of film does this, but you know in certain movies where there's a deep, ominous boom and then the title just appears on the screen?
Yeah.
That happens every time you go into a new area, and I love it every single time. Like, you walk into the next area of the game, and big white fucking bold letters that just say Research Division, and then this big booming bass noise comes up, and I get a funny feeling in my cock because it makes me hard.
Oh.
It makes my penis do the big penis awesome.
Stop. That's enough of that.
I love Control so goddamn much, and I'm just a little upset at myself that I didn't play it sooner. I'm now going to stop talking about Control so that we may talk about something else.
All right. So, how do you feel that Christmas is literally 2 days away?
I mean, honestly, I don't really care anymore. That I don't hate Christmas. That's not the right way to phrase it. I've become indifferent towards Christmas.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I mean, I was more so going on the lines of I just don't feel like it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm not around family or anything.
Well, for me, it's like, oh, fuck, I know it's Christmas because I've been hearing Christmas nonstop because I work.
Oh, yeah. I don't have Christmas music playing. It's not snowing, it's just cold. I'm not around friends or family. The only reason I know it's the holidays is because, like, I play Destiny. It's like, hey, it's snowing in the tower. And I'm like, oh, yeah, winter event. You know what I mean? It's like,
By the way, I haven't played any Destiny as of late, so.
I know, you already said you uninstalled it. Like, you're done.
Oh, no, I reinstalled it because I got my... Oh, there goes Jagged. No, I reinstalled it because I got my 500 gig M.2 SSD, and so I just installed all the big games, and so now I've just got them, and Control is one of them.
Well, I mean, do you see yourself going back to playing in Destiny anytime soon? I don't see yourself doing it. Because
maybe tomorrow if I feel up for it.
All right, you might want to.
Because I like when does Saint 14 leave?
I was about to say you might want to get on like today so you can at least do quote unquote the quote weekly stuff, which goes away. And then
does Saint 14 go away tomorrow?
I don't know. I would say no because he just got here and the event's for another 2 more weeks. So I would say no. But what I meant is like grab some of the shit that's like quote unquote only for this week, and then tomorrow is the start of next week. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I'll see what I'm doing tonight.
Like literally just swing around for like 30 minutes and then play actually tomorrow. But
okay, maybe.
But regardless, I think when it comes down to a game being a game, it should stick on being fun first before you try to be all thematic. And, you know, I wouldn't say...
Are we still referring to Control?
Yes, I'm still talking about Control because I want to wrap up my thoughts on what you've told me.
Sure.
I think, again, I've only seen a little bit of gameplay based around the trailers and trailers.
The gameplay is fun. It's very good.
You're right.
Like, it's not a case in which the gameplay takes a hit for the themes and the storytelling. Not at all.
And that's the vibe that I'm getting. Is like I'm worried that they put so much work into that. Because you see
Trust
so
me,
many
it's
games
not.
who try to do something like this, and it's either you get one or the other. It's hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that there's a game that did both. It's really hard.
Dude, Austin, you can get that game for $30 right now. I honestly
I
suggest
don't.
that you go do it.
I will not. I will not download the Epic Games launcher. I'm that stubborn.
Okay.
I
mean, you
will.
can just download the GOG launcher and get all of them right there.
I will just wait. I'm patient.
I think it's on Xbox Game. I think it's on Xbox Game Pass.
I will just. Don't let me. I'm fucking opening up the goddamn Xbox store. No, it's not.
It's not. Oh, okay, that's just Outer Worlds.
Still, I'm patient.
It is by far my game of the year, and I have yet to play Outer Wilds.
See,
if I play Outer Wilds, it'll be a hard battle, but we'll see.
The way I see it is that just means I have something to put on my wish list for somebody to say, hey, what do you want for your birthday? That's the way I see it. Because
what you're telling me is, birthday gift is Control.
I don't know. See, because the way I look at it is, people get after me because I don't tell them what I want for birthday/Christmas. I'm just like, dog, I don't even know what I want right now. Like, as of right now, the only thing I'm looking for is a media center for my TV, because I don't want to mount my TV on the wall. I want to just have like a nice cozy setup for the TV to sit on a stand, which I did find one. I thought this was going to be a really nice one. I'm thinking about buying it and then setting it up whenever I move into the new apartment. It's a cute little thing.
The issue with me in gift giving is that a lot of my gifts are really expensive, and I don't feel comfortable asking people for them. Like, most of the time when it's like, oh, hey, what do you want for Christmas or your birthday? Most of the time people are expecting like a $20 or $30 or at most like a $50 thing. I want $150. I want this thing that's $150. I'm not about to ask you for that. So I just don't.
When it comes to gift giving, I play it smart. Whenever somebody gives me a gift that's like, I put it in different tiers. There's the $0 to $25 tier. There is the $25 to $75 tier, and then there is the 75 plus tier. I have usually a gift that fits into one of those categories for every person. And what I try to do is I try to like base it around.
What are those for me?
Do you want to know what your gift would have been?
I don't care.
Because I have, so I try to like plan ahead and base it around what I get the feeling that I'm going to get. Like if they emphasize, oh, you're going to get a really good gift this year, then I usually don't go with the $10 to $25 gift. I usually go for like the middle ground or high ground, depending on if they're really emphasizing it. That's usually what I do. Yeah, so I wasn't planning on doing anything expensive. What I was gonna get you, and I'm still thinking about doing it, saying just why the fuck not, because it's a really good gift and it's a limited time. So I don't know if I'm fuck it, I'll tell you. Just in case you decide to say, you know what, I can validate this purchase. Humble Bundle's doing Humble Bundle's doing a filmmakers bundle right now, where they're doing a lot of like premiere effects and like, you know, a lot of assets that you can use in movie making and cinematics, and the whole bundle is like retail price of near $1,000, and it's on sale for $45.
Goddamn.
It is pretty fucking cool, and I was thinking, yeah, this might be the gift, and I second guessed it, and I was like, I don't know. And then you bought me a gift early, and I was like, all right, well then I already know what gift I got, so I try to reciprocate that.
Because that day it was like, hey, I'm getting a gift for everybody. Like I'm just getting all of that out of the way, fucking right now.
Yeah, so like you made the decision for me that day, because I was going to buy that gift like that day. I wasn't sure, and I was like, I don't know.
How much did I spend on you again? Like $10?
You spent about $12, $13, if I'm not mistaken. That's how much Valhalla was. So then I
saw that it was the highest thing on your wish list that was still that was actually purchasable. So I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah. So I try to like duplicate that kind of price value to other people, so that way I don't feel like they got lowballed while I got highballed. You know what I mean? I try to like make it to where it's balanced.
Here's the thing, and I noticed it when I asked that question, how much did I spend on you? Is that I noticed it there, but it's kind of been a lingering thought in my brain. where retail has kind of ruined Christmas for me, if that makes sense.
Why? Because you already know the value of these gifts, and you see them as the retail price of an item?
No. Because Christmas is about celebrating consumerism.
Well, yeah. It's been like that.
Yeah. But, like, working in retail makes you see, like, the really scummy side of that kind of thing. Not the fun, like, wrap up the present, give it to the other person, make them feel happy kind of thing. It's the, I'm going to spit on you because my kid won't get a fucking Wii U. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's side of people where it's like,
a fucking headache.
oh, I'm going to steal from this place because people want this thing, so I'm going to sell it for a lot of money because I'm going to take advantage of people's fucking almost paranoia of buying gifts.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. Retail just in general has, I don't want to say ruined, but it's definitely made Christmas not as fun in my eyes. And I guess that just comes with growing up, you know?
Yeah. That's why most parents will do everything they can to make sure that Christmas magic is, like, still with their kids. So they kind of get to relive that by, like, seeing it through their eyes. Because that's kind of what I saw when I was growing up, was like, wow, Christmas is a really cool time. And then I'm like, hey, why is everybody fucking depressed around the season? It's supposed to be great. And then and then you learn as you grow up, oh, that's why.
Yeah, that's literally, that's why.
Literally, that's it. It's kind of shit, but it's kind of just what growing up is.
It's also this weird, like, cognitive dissonance where everything around you is, like, almost forcing you to be happy and jolly because it's a Christmas time. Christmas is supposed to be happy. And it's like, oh, I fucking hate my job. I hate the people around me. Not my coworkers. My coworkers are cool. But I hate, like, the people in the store, and working retail fucking sucks. And there was a part a couple days ago where I was scared I was gonna get fired.
How are you gonna get fired? You just started working here.
Because we got robbed. Did I tell you that story?
Yeah, but that's not your fault. You're not security.
Yeah, right. But I was the one to let the thing go through. Anyway, it was still one of those things where in the back of my mind I'm like, oh, what if, you know?
Oh, I see what you mean.
And it like, I don't know. Like, because you feel off. Oh, okay, not you. I feel awful going into work, and leaving work I feel even worse because I'm exhausted and I'm basically running on fumes the entire time. Most people are actually relatively nice, which is a good thing. But they're the ones that stick out are the ones that are the assholes, because that's just how your fucking brain works.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly getting weighed down by all this shit. Meanwhile, fucking Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" is playing on the fucking overhead speakers, and a bunch of weird fucking covers of all the really popular Christmas songs.
Yeah.
And all the really, like, I love your friends and family, and I love you because it's great, and Christmas is supposed to be happy. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, fuck Christmas.
I just think that it gets better when you're talking about spending it with your friends and family than it is buying the gifts.
I'm not full bah humbug yet, and I don't think I ever will be. But retail has certainly soured the Christmas spirit. And if/when I ever get out of retail hell, I'm almost certain that Christmas will be better. You know?
Yeah. I also feel like you should just take more advantage of the friends that you still have around you, because, like, that's the one thing I miss. Not really the gifts or anything else. It's just, man, I really wish I could spend time with friends and family at the same time, not friends or family. Like, that's the one thing that you get. So take advantage of that. Invite all your friends over, invite your family over, just have a fun time. You know, enjoy that time while you have it, because it's definitely not going to be around.
So tomorrow night we're playing Destiny. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm literally telling you verbatim. I don't understand how you got any other alternative fucking meaning about, hey, invite Cameron and Ginger over to your fucking families and bring their families along and just have a fucking fun time with friends and family.
No, I understand that, but I'm also saying I need to also hang out with the friends on the Discord and the people who are in chat right now and spend time with them because they are also my friends. So
I guess, but you do you. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying you should spend time with your Because you can always spend time with Discord friends. Like, I could always spend time with my Discord friends.
I can also always spend time with Ginger and Taylor.
In time, you won't have the ability to hang out personally with friends.
I mean, I'm gonna hang out with them eventually, so I also want to make time to be like, hey, yo, where's Derek? Let's play Destiny with Derek at some point. I'm willing to get back into Destiny for a little bit just to hang out with y'all.
All right, that's up to you. I was thinking more than the lines.
Who in chat wants to play games?
I was more so in the line of, hey, let's actually get a real Minecraft night together, because we still didn't fucking do that.
Let's fucking do that too. Yeah, I'm down.
But yeah. All right. Anything that you want to say before we wrap it up?
Minecraft.
Oh Jesus, that fucking scared the shit out of me.
Prime?
Prime, you are 1 month away from being a year.
Oh wait, hold on.
Holy shit.
Let me see if, that reminds me. Let me see if I can.
Holy shit. You're almost there. Prime, you fucking madman. You've been subbed for 11 fucking months. He's about to get the year-long badge. Holy shit, dude.
Yet. Okay. I got an emote thanks to Prime subscription. Interesting.
Oh,
cool. Another question. When are we ever gonna tackle Warframe's new mode?
I kind of just booted it up, felt nostalgic about all the stuff that I did, and then I closed it. That was it. I wasn't really seeing anybody else online. I might get back on it.
Because I'm gonna be honest, the only people I played Warframe with were you and not even Derek. Derek barely played. Derek plays Destiny more than he does Warframe.
Yeah, I played Destiny more than Warframe too.
I mean, I at least want to see what the fucking it's not Railjack anymore. What's it called?
Empyrean.
I want to see what Empyrean's all about. I want to see, maybe it'll re-spark the joy that I felt in those first, 100 or so hours.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for too, because it's supposed to be like a really big deal. But then the same thing happened when I said, "Oh hey, Fortuna's coming out," and that's gonna be the thing that gets me back into Warframe. And then I booted it up, and I just didn't like it. I was like, "Oh, this is just not very fun." And then I closed it, and then I'm like, "All right, well, the next expansion, I'm sure I'll get back into it then." And now here it is, and I'm just like, I don't like it. I just think Destiny's just the better game.
Well, let's see.
But once I actually give it a real chance, then I'm sure then we'll go and figure it out.
Oh yeah, I should also say, what was I gonna say? I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I got Super Hot also recently.
Oh yeah, that was like the free game, right?
I'm also pretty upset that I didn't play this game earlier. I'm not as impressed with it as I am with Control. And also, after playing the VR version of the game, it's kind of not a worse experience, but I'm less immersed when I'm not playing with VR. But Super Hot is still a very good game, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I also got into Resident Evil 2. The game is also great. And whenever I play Resident Evil 2, I need to sit down. It has to be nighttime. Lights got to be out. Other monitors off. Headphones on. Get into it. Get into the game. And it's been helping a lot. The more games I play, the more I'm trying to get into them, not so much just play them casually. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So one thing I want to say before we wrap up.
Yes, we should.
Also, I want to let you guys know in the chat. Yes, we're doing a shorter podcast for tonight. We're just doing a quick little check-in for holidays and that kind of stuff. Plus, half the people are ready to spend time with families, so it's just Cameron and I wrapping things up just so we have an actual show. One thing I want to mention is the streams. Just because I'm doing a stream right now doesn't mean that the streams are all coming back, but I'm aiming to have at least one end of the year Jackbox nights, and then that'll probably be it. So I don't know. As for games, I'm still trying to keep it to single player only or small groups. So I don't think we can get
community nights on again.
Community nights are all Friday nights or Saturday nights if that's just easier. Good. It's just Friday or Saturday nights.
Because I redid my availability at work, and I opened up Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, but Mondays and Fridays completely unavailable. So I will probably be there for the Jackbox night.
All right, shit, sounds like fun time. You actually get to play the new Jackbox that came out. Jackbox
Oh,
6.
there is a new Jackbox. I forgot about that.
It's actually kind of fun. There's a game mode that I would love to play in person with you guys because it works better when everybody's just in the room. It's not like faking it, but it definitely helps to like look at people's faces.
I see.
But you can still play it over calls, but everybody kind of has to be in the same room with voice. It doesn't work with text at all.
I get you.
But yeah,
I really want to play more board games, honestly. Starting in 2020, I want to play more board games.
I actually have a lot of board games I've been wanting to play with you guys on tabletop too.
Yeah.
But
not just fucking Binding of Isaac, because like that game's great. Jesus Christ, our group gets so toxic when we play, and it becomes not fun after a while.
It's funny you say that. I brought Ken into tabletop, and him and I have been playing the game, and we found a way to play it co-op.
You can, but none of us do.
I brought it up multiple times, but none of you wanted to do it, so I mentioned it to him, and he says, dude, that sounds like a fucking fun time. I'm more about co-op than PvP. So what we're doing is we have a counter on the table, and our goal is to get all that are playing. So like we do 2 players, so we say, okay, we need to get 8 souls in the least amount of turns possible. That's how we're playing the game, and it's so much fun because we try to break our records. We're like, oh man, we're at like 28 turns to get 8 souls. We gotta speed it up. And it's a lot of fun. And the rule is that if both people die, the game ends. You lose.
All right.
So that's why it's a lot of fun.
Okay, I'll do that, but I want to add another rule on top of it. 4 players, permadeath.
I don't think permadeath would work.
Maybe like a live system, because I want to make death like actually mean something, so that it encourages teamwork. You know?
Yeah. Another thing that we also brought up, we wanted to do teams, because I found a system that you can do. It's where you can share your deck with other players. You can make a team where your cards are shared. So I was like, dude, we can.
Yeah, you change your color.
So we can do teams where it's like 2v2s. I was really wanted to do that, and
What's up, Alan?
Yo, what's up, Alan? So the thing I was wanting to do is, if you guys wanted to get back into tabletop, we could play one game where we're just all doing co-op, or we can do team where we're all working together to see if we can break the record of getting all of us 4 souls with the least amount of turns. Because it's actually a lot of fun. Well, true, and I do have other board games I want to play with you guys too. But
I really want to play Dominion. Like, genuinely, I want to play Dominion with all of y'all. It's a really fun board game, or a really fun card game.
That and Catan with all its expansions actually is a lot of fun.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, yeah, let's do Catan. I'm down.
With all of its expansions. I have one where it's all of the expansions, and the board is fucking massive, and it's all automated, so it's like super easy to keep up with. It's a lot of fun.
You said Catan, and just my gut just decided to fly out of my fucking mouth. And that was the noise I made in response to it.
Candyland, yes. Shoots and Ladders, yes. You don't like Shoots and Ladders? Fuck you. Shoots and Ladders is fun.
I didn't play Shoots and Ladders.
You're gonna play it.
See, my childhood board game was always Monopoly. My family always wanted to play Monopoly, and I refuse to fucking play Monopoly these days because it always, without fail, gets toxic.
Escalators.
Yep. Eels and escalators. I was about to bring that up.
Yeah. But no, I do want to play some more tabletop. Maybe tonight, if you're free. We could try to get Ken and everybody else all into it. And
I'd be down.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. Just to play it in a different way.
If I'm not, because I don't think I'm gonna be hanging out with anybody else tonight. So I'm pretty sure.
My plans are just to draw. I've been drawing Peanut from Crush, and I'm deciding whether I'm trying really hard not to make it lewd art. I'm really trying.
Draw Big Mommy Aras.
I'm trying really hard not to make her titties pop out, but it's like I can easily do it with just one swipe of a pen.
Trying really hard to not make her titties pop out. I've never heard that phrase ever, and I hate it.
Cause I want. The thing about Peanut is she's adorable. She's so cute, but she's easily like able to be drawn lewd. It's like, no.
Aren't any female characters easily lewded?
No, the reason I'm saying easily is because she's from a lewd game.
That makes
so
sense.
like you get to see her titties.
Who was talking about someone was, I think it was either Bailey or Bunny, and they were talking about how they got fucking Ultimate Honey Simulator or whatever.
Oh yeah, Honey
And-
Select Unlimited.
That's it. And I've never heard of it before they described it.
It's by Faku. Like, I thought you were like
yeah.
buddy with Faku.
No, dude, I haven't been to Faku like fucking years, ever since I started fucking charging memberships.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah. So I've been away from Faku for the longest time, and then she told me about that, and I'm like, oh, really? And so I went on and I looked it up, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it's like, oh. Because, like, the first part, it's funny. You watch the first part of the trailer, and it's like, you know, dress up your characters.
I've seen exactly
and design every little minute detail of them. And then it, like,
fuck 'em.
Hard cut the fucking.
Dude, it's just, there's no, like, you don't get a brace for it. If you didn't know what you're getting yourself into,
There's no chill. Yeah, you can see it. It's like Honey Select Limited. It's a loot game, a lot of character customization, and I'm like, oh boy. And then, like, 3 minutes go by, and I go in with another message that says, oh wow, that's a full-on titty game.
So the funny thing is, I'm more of a Koikatsu player instead of Honey Select. It's the same concept, almost the same engine, but it's just anime characters instead of the 3D trying to be human, but also kind of cartoonish.
I find this weird 3D style to be kind of off-putting for a lot of cases.
I prefer the anime vibe.
Yeah,
but
it reminds me of when I first started getting into online content and I found this stuff, and it takes me back to those days where, like, I still kind of didn't know what websites to go to and things like that.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking more along the lines of, it's like one of those, like, the fucking ads that you see on, like, lewd websites, like, oh, look at these look at these characters, and it's like, why do they look like that?
Yeah, it always looks weird. What is it? If we can get a porn game that has the same love and attention put into the characters as an Arc System Works game, there you go. That's it.
Literally Skullgirls, like, they could flip the switch at any time and make a game like that.
Oh, believe me, they could.
They easily could. That's the first thing that comes to my mind is just...
Zone and Shad have proven it.
Yeah, it's very easy for them just to flip the switch at any time and then pull a 180.
I think one of the lead artists of Skullgirls draws lewd stuff on the side.
I was actually doing...
I'm not sure.
I'm sure it was posted in the chat a while ago. Fucking... Oh my god. Crunchyroll. Where Crunchyroll did that video of, like, the history of hentai.
Oh, history of hentai, yeah. I didn't watch it, but
I watched it. It actually had a lot of good details in it. There's a lot of well-known artists that I actually follow, and they're like, yeah, they have pen names where they go by different aliases, where they're allowed to go and draw. They're being horny on alt of the characters that they create.
Oh man, just fucking airing out all the details about these people. Jesus, Crunchyroll.
Literally, the people who make Black Lagoon, they have their characters drawn having sex in the same art style because it's the same creator, but he doesn't want to get found out, so he puts a different pen name. There's so many people who do this. It's a very common thing, apparently. So if you ever see one where it's like, if you see like a doujin where it's this super well done of that one specific character from that one specific anime, it's like, huh, wow, this guy really likes this character. Or maybe that's the original creator.
Maybe that's just the creator, yeah.
I just find that really cool.
What was the image? There was a post I saw on Twitter. This is gonna be the last thing I talk about before I wrap up. But there was a post I saw on Twitter where it's a headline of a PlayStation article, and it's like Kratos' face from the new God of War.
Yes,
has like
Yokotaro.
8,000. Yeah, has 8,000 polygons.
Not 8,000. 20,000.
20,000. That's it. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. And then they go over, and just 2B's ass has like double that.
No, it doesn't have double that. Just her ass alone has 18,000.
That's it.
That's like there's so much detail, and let me tell you, I have the 4K upscaled pack, and God, does it look
beautiful.
I
remember that there was a thing where Yokotaro was like, what?
This is the horny stream. Welcome. You have a 20 series. Go and downloading into Nier and actually play the game while you're at it.
I don't own Nier. That's the thing.
It's on my Steam library. Are we not sharing anymore?
Nope.
Oh, I'll fix that after the stream's over. You need to
The
play
only
near.
person I'm sharing with is...
Ginger.
Oh, I don't own any of these. Oh. Oh, I'm not sharing with Ginger anymore. I thought I was, but now all of his free games are on here, and I'm like, hide all these games. I just want to hide all of them. Because it's like, there's like Adventure Capitalist, and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
Hide. What the fuck is Ragnarok? Ragnarok Online 2, hide.
The non-real games.
Oh, Tribes Ascend. I missed that game.
Anyways, that's going to be wrapping it up. That's the podcast.
Yeah. We're going to end it on the horny. Oh, Grand Chase. It's fucking... What is this?
The game's not even... Hey, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, it doesn't even do anything. If you download the game, it just says the game doesn't work. Come back later. I'm like, yeah. Because the servers are fucking dead because they're too busy playing Elsword. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this week's episode of The Sound of Scuffed. Hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. And for those of you guys that are already in the Discord, please make sure you enter the giveaway. There is a giveaway that's going on right now. And I think that's all we have to wrap up with. We might do...
I have one last thing I want to say.
Yeah, what's up?
Be horny on main. Don't be afraid of it.
No, I'm not going to. Fuck you.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to chat.
Oh.
Chat. Okay, it's okay to be horny on main.
I don't because I'm too scared.
As long as you're not creepy about it.
See,
There's the thing. Like,
I always feel creepy about it.
There's a fine line you walk when you go horny on main.
I literally always feel creepy if I ever like a piece of titty art. That's why
I feel creepy whenever I talk to a woman.
That's why I use the feature that very few people know about. It's called Send, and it's called Send to Bookmarks. And then you can bookmark it and then go down your bookmarks, and your bookmarks can be the lewds because your likes are public, but bookmarks are private.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's what I do. So if my account ever gets hacked and somebody fucking goes through my bookmarks, fuck you.
Add tweet to bookmarks. Look at that. All right. Well,
yeah, there you go. Yeah, just do the click share button and then just send to bookmarks. Nobody can see it. Just for you. And they don't ever expire.
Okay. So last thing. I want to give a little piece of advice. Never ask a woman her age, never ask a man his salary, and never ask a German why their grandpa's from Argentina. Have a great night, everybody.
God fucking shut the fuck up. Anyways, have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching this week's episode. Hope you guys have a great Christmas. Catch you guys later.